So I was thinking, why is this country so crazy? Why can't we all just get along, as they say, right? And there's a lot of reasons I don't think that's ever going to happen, at least not in a completely harmonious way. But just in a general functional, the division, right? Politics, race, religion, favorites, sports team, movie, I don't know. There's a ton of things that divide us. So let's for some common ground. I'm going to attempt to create right here in front of your very eyes universal common ground. Here goes. Scenario number one. There's a girl. She's about 16. She's standing by the side of the road. You just drive up, you're stopped at a stoplight. You look out, there she is. She is dressed in not that great clothing. It's kind of tattered. There's blood, dry blood, like on her arm, on her leg. It's not looking very good. She has her hand on her stomach. She's really hungry. It's cold. She's shivering. She has a sign that says "Help me," a little cardboard sign, but it says HA backwards LPMEE. That's like your first snapshot that I want you to have in your mind. Second snapshot coming up. You driving again. You drive by, you're looking in people's windows. It's a little weird, but whatever. So you look in this window and you see the same girl. But this is a house now. There's people there that appear to be interested in what she's saying. She's laughing. They're laughing with her. You see warmth, compassion. She has a little weird hat. It's a mortarboard. She just graduated from high school. There's some food out, right? Some snacks. People are eating. It's a beautiful thing. I think everybody prefers number two to number one. Doesn't matter which. I didn't say this. Talk about this girl's race or political affiliation or religion, right? But as human beings, unless you're just truly twisted, you would prefer to see a young girl well fed in the house, happy, got herself an education, versus not quite illiterate, really hungry, cold, scared. We would prefer the second one, right? So there's some common ground for everybody. We all prefer the second one. You might be thinking, okay, why does that matter? Well, it matters a lot. Because if you see somebody, you're reading something on social media, and you're just like, oh, they're a terrible person. They're a terrible person. That's interesting to say. Maybe they're saying that about you. What does that really mean? They want the girl to do better, so they're, not fully terrible. So why don't we all unite around that fictitious, potentially real girl story? Because we have some very different opinions on the appropriate way to go from the girl freezing, hungry, and illiterate to the girl happy, healthy, graduating. We have some very different opinions on government. We'll start with government, right? Well, it could be the private, to private sector or public life, individuals, religion, it doesn't matter. So if we see someone not embracing our methodology, and we're like, well, our methodology is leading towards something good, and they're not embracing it, they must be a terrible person. As my close personal friend Joe Biden said during his presidential campaign, he said that he got frustrated one time when he was in Congress. From what I've seen, he gets frustrated a fair amount, but so did the last guy. That seems to be a career hazard. Anyways, not going into all that. The point is he got frustrated because there was a bill that would expand services to disabled people. And this senator voted against it. And he said, what the heck? The guy didn't care about disabled people. What's wrong with them? And someone else pointed out to him, I said, Joe, his son is disabled. And President, not at the time, Biden said, oh. And then that same person said to him, look, you can question, and I think this goes back to Eisenhower, talked about this originally, you can question someone's judgment, but not their motives, right? As soon as you assume impure motives, then you've lost conversation, right? Oh, I think we should do, you're a terrible person. Now, to be fair, maybe there's some situations where you really are assuming those impure motives, and that's the case. It's a terrorist organization or something like that. But generally, just because someone has a different approach than you doesn't mean that they don't care about things like you do. Like about people and doing well and the country, and that covers a whole lot of ground. So I would encourage you to not assume that someone's a terrible person just because they disagree with you. We all do it from time to time. We all speak like they did this. Who's they? Do you have a specific group in mind, or are you just sort of casting shade generally at others? Okay, don't assume people are terrible. Perhaps we do have common humanity.